I can't do nothing with you. I can't do nothing with you.
First and foremost, namaste, namaskara, hegidira. There's a bit of less of replies. It's okay, it's absolutely fine. So guys, the last time we had met, I hope you remember me. थोड़ा सा बाल बढ़ गए बस और कुछ नहीं. या दिमाग भी बढ़ रहा है हम सभी का. Thank you so much. May I request you to actually capture the front seats? You know, it will be nice to seeing you closer. अच्छा लगता है. Please, I request everybody at the back to please come closer. Let's capture. There are more seats on this communication anymore, but also to see who we are. Okay. So guys, if you have a DP of a God, great. If you have a DP of your family, that's even more better. But if you have a DP of your own self, do you have it? How many of you? Show it to me first. I cannot believe you just like that because a lot of maybes are here. Okay, that's great. आप तो literally phone को ऐसे रख के लिया है photo, उसमें भी DP. अच्छा लगता है. That's good. That's always nice to actually have your own picture. This is how you perceive yourself. A phone speaks a lot about your personality. Yes, it does. As soon as it opens up, चिकनी चमेली भी हो सकती है. Yeah, मेरा ही जलवा भी हो सकता है. That's good. That's great. Well, I want to basically tell you one thing. We do take a picture of ourselves. Yeah, it does have a definition to it. It's just an image. Yeah, it doesn't decide much. Only the biodata talks. जिन जिन लोगों का मैट्रिमोनियल में शादी हुआ है, होने वाला है, all the best. Just kidding. But any which ways, image which you create is right now what you're going to do is take a good, nice, smiling picture of yourself, please. Sharma, I don't know why. Can you just take out your phones? Take out your phones and take a good, nice picture of your own self. This time video nahi hoga, don't worry. Okay, this time we're going to have an image, and this time we're going to end up with something even more beautiful, fantastic in the end of the show. Yes, I have an ample amount of time for you all. So I want you all to please take a good picture of yourself. a good one. Yeah, if you took with a smile, that's great. If you took with a seriousness, it's absolutely fine. And if you opportunity, as I say it as an opportunity, is not just for you, for me as well. Well, are we ready? Yeah, before we go further, थोड़ा सा अगल बगल में जो है उनके साथ हाथ मिला के just say hi or thank you. Yeah, lots of love going in. Now the true empathy, sympathy, Indian wala things. That's good. That's great. We are not allowed to use the music, which is nothing than just our words, because we're gonna do something nice. Okay, so guys, since we are all here together, we are all attachments, and we are gonna be working at bigger things in life. So I want you all to do one thing for me: is can we get some unity here? Can we clap once, twice, thrice? Let's do this, okay? When we start this beautiful journey, we have just one. But once we go through it, we're gonna become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it's not just our bank account which goes other way around. We'll go the other way around now. Yeah, we'll go straight forward from 1 to what we are as an individual and start off. Yes, can we clap once, twice, thrice, 4, 5, 6, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise! The Atlassian Community Bengaluru team on tour recap. Ladies and gentlemen, without any more further ado, I want you all to, yes, give a huge round of applause and let's welcome. But before that, I need to see all of your energy. Are you all ready? Hey, come on, guys. I don't hear you. I don't feel you. Come on. Are you ready? Come on, everybody, make some noise and let's welcome Atlassian Community Manager Tamanna के लिए जोरदार तालियां. Tamanna Godara, Community Manager Atlassian.
Welcome everyone to community-led conference. We call big format events as community-led conference, and you are part of one today. We are going to be recapping Team on Tour today with other speakers. But first and foremost, I'm going to walk you through today's agenda, what we have in store for you. So as you see, there is introduction to Atlassian community, which I'll do. And then we'll have empower your operations team, rapid alert response for higher reliability, and then leveraging AI ops to detect and resolve incidents faster, stakeholder communication in JSM, cross-functional collaboration in today's fast-paced tech-driven environment. And last but not the least, we have a drum circle engagement for you all. So stay with us till the very end so that you can take the full momentum of this event home. And not to forget, along with the speakers from Atlassian, which will be here throughout the day, you can reach out to them. Some of them will be on the JSM IT Ops booth outside, and some will be here in the room. So make sure that you interact with them. And we have this support bar created only for you. So we don't do across the globe in community events, but this is a Bangalore event, and we've done it. This is our third time we are doing it because we see great interest from you all where you have questions on our tools. So go ahead, ask any questions that you have around our tools. There are specific support persons from these teams mentioned above, but if you have any other questions related to our tools, they can take your questions and they can get back to you. So whenever there are breaks during the event, just go and talk to them, understand which team they work on, how they can support you. So big round of applause to support team as well. As you all know, you've been part of Bangalore chapter. Who's the person who's come first time for the Bangalore community event? First time? Oh, that's quite a huge number. Girish? Girish is, yeah, see how many new first timers are here. So thank you for joining. I hope you continue joining our next events. We almost do one event every month. So if you get a seat, that is whenever you see the event published, just go ahead and RSVP. But also make sure if you have RSVP'd, you turn up at the event. And as you see here, Vishnu Kumar, Sandeshi and Girish are community leaders for Bangalore chapter. They are the ones who put everything together. and I'm just a support person who helps them to, get things going. So I am I'm at the behind the scene, but they are the front center and taking, like, doing everything around the community events in Bangalore. So please provide feedbacks if you are coming to events. Tomorrow you are going to receive a feedback form, so fill that out. Put out constructive feedback for us to improve. Anything that you find it like not working out for you during these events, so fill out those feedback forms. Whenever you get a chance, reach out to community leaders to speak at these events. So they are the people who can get you a speaking opportunity here, and bring more of your friends. I saw someone got five of you are together. So bring your friends to these community events, learn together, and help each other. These are some of the stats from Bangalore chapter. We have hosted 100 events, so big round of applause. This is our 101st event. Yeah. We have catered to 4,000 people through these 100 events, and we have a check-in rate of 40%. And I want you all to take a pledge that if you RSVP, you're going to turn up at these events, and we want to raise this percentage to 50, 60 in the next event. So if you RSVP, my request is to just go and attend the event. Or if you cannot for some reason, just go and un-RSVP yourself so that the seat is released for another person. But huge round of applause to Bangalore chapter leads for hosting 100 plus events. And it is no surprise that Bangalore was a global chapter who received the Setting the Standard Award in 2024. Mike and Anu themselves congratulated them for their feat. And Vishnu and Girish are there in the picture. Sandeshi couldn't join them. But huge round of applause for keeping and maintaining the streak this year around as well. So with this event, we are also contributing through the month of good initiative. So now whoever has been able to come to this event, we are planting 5 trees on your behalf. So you are impacting not only your learning, but you are also impacting the environment. So kudos to you. We'll be also donating $10 on behalf of each one of you. So thank you for coming. And as I mentioned, just check in, keep attending these events, and share it with your friends. Now with this, I'll take you to like the behind the scene, what is Atlassian community. We are a team of 90 plus people, like the Atlassian employees who are supporting community initiatives. We are a big team of 90 people. We are across all these functions. So some people are in the marketing, some are from the R&D, some are in the CSS side. So there's like a huge bunch of my teammates who are working behind the scenes to support these community initiatives. Now talking about Atlassian community events, which you are part of now, these events are for the users and by the users. So all the community leaders, those are running the chapters, they are users of the product, and they are creating these events for you all to come discuss amongst yourself, like what products do you use from Atlassian, how you are using them, and share your insights with each other. Learn from these speaker sessions that we have, but majorly come here to network, understand how the other person is using the tool, and share these learnings and best practices with each other. We have 600 plus community leaders across the globe. So like how Girish, Sandeshi, and Nagaraju are here in Bangalore, there are 600 leaders who are doing events, who are posting content, being content creators. Then there are online leaders who are answering questions on the online forum. So there is like a huge bunch of leaders who are supporting us. And as I mentioned, these are not employees, Atlassian employees. These are users of our product who are very passionate about our products. So big kudos to all the 600 of folks that are helping us build this amazing community. These are some of the stats from Atlassian community events. So we hosted 920 events in the year 2023. We got 56,000 registration, which is a huge jump from last year. And these events were attended by 24,000 attendees. So we are seeing great bunch of people coming to these events, and we are also seeing the increase in number of average attendees per event. And this is a snapshot of how India has grown over the years. We started with one chapter in 2016, and now we have over 22 chapters in India. So if you have colleagues in India who don't know about Atlassian community and they are part of any of the cities mentioned here, please encourage them to go to community events and learn from like-minded folks there. So last year we hosted 80 events in India alone with 5,000 plus RSVPs across these events. And we have 58 community leaders in India. So out of the 600, 58 leaders are based in India, and they are supporting on the online and the event side. We also take, we focus on these events and we capture your CSAT, which is customer satisfaction. So if you are attending these events and if you are providing feedback to us, we are capturing and ensuring that these events are a great experience for you all. So member CSAT is basically 4.3, which is the feedback provided by you all who are attending these events. For Bangalore chapter, it is 4.5, which is like across the 7 years they've been, it's been 4.5, which is a kudos to them. And this is leaders CSAT, the other metrics that you see, 4.7, which is the satisfaction of the leaders who are part of our program. So community-led conferences are large format events that we are hosting across the globe. Last year we hosted 48 such events. I think we hosted 3 such events in Bangalore. So some of you might have been part of those large format events. We got around 3,500 registrations from these events. Now, I talked about online leaders. Now, what is online community? Some of you might not even know online community. Anyone who knows what is online community? Okay, very few of them, 4, 5 I can see. So online forum is, let me first explain. So online forum is where whenever you are using our products and you're stuck with an issue and you type something like, okay, this feature, how do I get this feature going? And then a Google search will give you link to a community article. That community article is on the online community, and there are a bunch of folks who are asking questions and a great number of folks who are answering questions. So we get around 19 million unique visitors every year on the online community. Last year there were 55,000 questions asked and 78,000 answers were submitted. And 41% of these answers were by community leaders. So you see the impact they are making towards community. If you want to be part of online community, you can reach out to me. I'm there on LinkedIn and I can guide you how to become an online community leader. But it's a huge effort that community leaders are putting to answer user questions that are coming to the online community. So kudos to them once again. This is the gamification program that we launched on online community. We call it Kudos, and we are seeing 7x growth in the Kudos program registrations. Through the online community, we are planting trees, cleaning the ocean plastic, and so there's a lot of impactful work that we are doing through online community as well. As you see in this event, as we are planting trees, we also do it through our online forums. Then these 461 rising stars that you see, they are not currently community leaders, but they are on the path to become community leaders in the future. And learning and certifications. So now our learning and certifications are integrated to online community and as well as events. So these are some of the numbers of numbers around the learning cohort. So you see 240K unique learners on Atlassian University, which is our certification portal. Then these were like number of sessions taken across the universities. Uh, uh, this is 680,000. And then we saw 50% growth in the number of certified customers. So a lot more people are now getting certified on Atlassian products. And this is how the integration looks like on various community platforms. So the first one you see is on the online community, where you can take beginner's guide, you can learn more about our tools. The second screenshot you see is on our online community, where again you can go to the learning tab and you can join any learning paths, and you can continue your learning path there. And there are challenges also enabled for you to just take part in some of the learning initiatives. We are conducting live learning sessions through our community events. Anyone who's attended a live learning session on Atlassian community? Okay, I see one hand, but these are happening regularly, almost like 2-3 sessions every month. So if you go to ace.atlassian.com and go to the virtual HQ, and there you have a live learning chapter, or you can type live learning in the search, and you'll find this chapter. Basically, there are instructors who are delivering these sessions, and some of these are very hands-on sessions, so you can sit with your laptop and you can try hands-on, and you can learn from them. So last year we initiated it, and we got 3,000 attendees, which is like a 3x increase from the previous year. Oh, sorry, month-on-month increase, not previous year. It was month-on-month increase is 3x, which is huge. We are seeing great impact through these live learning sessions as well. Now, this is how our program has evolved over the years. Before 2013, we had some form of community events and online community, but then we renamed it to org leaders. Then we official launch of online community happened in 2017. And then we renamed this program to champions. Now, 2024, we are going back to the champion phase. So there will be a lot of announcements around what's happening, what's new in the flagship event team that is going to be hosted on April 2025. And this is a short video showcasing the spirit of community. I'll just play. So that was snapshot of community events. With this, I would like to share one announcement that we made in May 1st this year, that all the on-demand courses are 100% free. So if you want to enroll in any learning, you can go and access the learning courses, and these are free for all people who want to enroll in the on-demand courses. So just go and explore the learning opportunities. And if you have more questions, you can ask community leaders. They can help you answering all the questions related to this. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have more questions. But with this, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you coming on a Saturday morning. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a round of applause for our community manager at Atlassian, Tamanna Godhara. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for waiting for this. Empower your operations team with rapid alert response for high reliability. Mr. Aditya Mani, a senior product manager at Atlassian. Before we welcome him on stage, ladies and gentlemen, how to enhance your operations team's efficiency in responding to alerts and ensuring higher reliability. Discover the importance of alerts, monitoring tools, and how JIRA services management can streamline your incident response. Through practical examples, learn to set up monitoring tools, integrations on call schedules, and notification preferences. Well, we'll also discuss Atlassian's new product, Compass, and how it can play a pivotal role in your operations. We also will touch upon how to leverage the larger Atlassian ecosystem for your alerts. Well, here is your opportunity to optimize your team's operations and collaborations. Ladies and gentlemen, with your round of applause, I welcome the eminent Senior Product Manager at Atlassian, Mr. Aditya Mani. Zordar taaliyon ke saath, let's welcome.
Welcome everyone to this community event. I would actually like to start off by thanking the community leaders for organizing such a nice event. I think the arrangements are top notch. So can we have a very quick round of applause for them? Right, so let's begin with my session today. My name is Aditya Mani and I am a senior product manager with a product called Jira Service Management in Atlassian. I'm sure that a lot of you have used this product called Jira probably for decades now. Maybe some of you have used Jira Service Management, but maybe some of you don't know what Jira Service Management is. Don't worry, we will learn a lot more about Jira Service Management, or how we abbreviate it as JSM today. Before we begin though, I'd just like to understand with a quick show of hands, how many of you are software developers, part of engineering teams, or working in product development within your companies? Fantastic. What a beautiful turnout. And how many of you manage alerts, manage incidents, probably do some form of change management? Okay, wow, a lot of you all as well, but probably some of you might not have complete context. So what we will do today is, I'll just take you through some basics of what alert management is and how Atlassian products can help you do that better. So let's begin with a very, very small story. Since a lot of you mentioned that you are part of product development teams, you must have done a lot of launches in your lives. Probably you had a few launches happening in December, now you'll have a quiet period in December, and then you'll have another backlog of launches coming up in January. In this particular example, let's just assume that you are now launching a new website, which is something like an e-commerce website, where your customers can come in and make purchases and obviously make payments through your payment gateway, and at the end you get some money. A lot of you might also know that to run any sort of website or web service, you need servers in the backend. And generally, if you have one website running on one server, that is just a single point of failure, and if that server goes down, your website goes down entirely. So a lot of customers then load balance their website or distribute their websites across multiple servers. In this particular example, we have 3 servers. So all the traffic coming onto this website is equally divided between these 3 servers. Your first customer comes in, a moment of joy. Because obviously, if you now built a product with your blood, sweat, and tears, you want customers to come in and start paying you money for what you've done. And slowly and steadily, a lot more customers start coming in, and a lot more customers are now hitting your website, which we call as traffic. Right? So now the traffic on your website is slowly and slowly increasing. And what you intended for this entire system to do is that you intended all your 3 servers to equally distribute the load as 1/3. So if there are 12 customers, as you can see, 12 stick figures here. 4 of them will go to server 1, 4 of them to server 2, and 4 of them to server 3. However, as a lot of you know, in the world of product development, things never go 100% the way you want them to go. Something will go wrong. In this particular case, assume that the configuration that you deployed on your server 3 somehow went wrong, and you didn't have any sort of monitoring in place to see, actually to catch what has gone wrong here. What will instantly start happening is that server 3 will stop serving traffic, will stop serving web pages to your customers. And eventually what will happen is that 1/3 of your customers will no longer see the good shiny product that you've built. What happens here? Your customers are frustrated because they are not able to access your website, your web page. Obviously, if they are not able to access your estimated sales, and your forecasted sales are going to go down significantly. And as we all know, our bosses will now start shouting at us saying that, how could you have done this? How could the system that you've built over the last 3 months go down? And all of this happened because we could not catch the issue in time. What actually happened here was that once the customers who were accessing your website couldn't access your website, they reached out to your customer support team saying that I'm not able to access. Maybe they went on to Twitter, Facebook, complaining about your company. That is when you realize that something has gone wrong. And that is the absolute worst possible state to be in. I've been in the product development industry for about 12 years now, and there is nothing worse than a customer telling you that something has gone wrong without you yourself knowing it. Right? So the next question is, how could we have prevented this? Well, assume for now, you have somebody watching over your 3 servers, right? Exactly the point where your server broke, you have somebody watching over these servers, and the moment they detect that something has gone wrong, they will immediately go out and inform that specific team. Maybe there are 10 teams in your company, but they know exactly which team to contact for this issue. They will call in that development team, and that development team will come in and fix the problem for you. This ideally should have happened before your website went live, or at least in the first 5 minutes of your website going live, so that you didn't have to face so much humiliation and so much embarrassment. And that exactly is the world of monitoring and alerts. And that is exactly what we will be taking you through over the next couple of sessions, my session and the next session included as well. So let us just try to understand how this works from a very fundamental first principle perspective. You have your software or your hardware system. After that, the best practice is to have either a monitoring tool or an observability tool. These are again some jargon terms which are used in the industry, but as you can understand intuitively from what the word means, a monitoring tool basically monitors your system, an observability tool observes your system, which is essentially the same thing. You will also want an alerting tool, and which is basically then hooked up to your on-call responder. How many of you understand what the term on-call responder means? By a show of hands, can you tell me? Okay, maybe not a lot of you. So assume you have a development team of 10 individuals. Anytime an error comes in, do you want all 10 of them to get notified about it immediately, or do you want only one of them to get notified? In an ideal scenario, you only want one of them to get notified so that the other 9 can continue working on product development, feature enhancements, and the Jira stories that they're working on. So this one person who is designated to look at the alerts is called the on-call responder. This term comes from the world of, from the medical world, where you have on-call doctors who maybe if you go into an emergency ward and some doctor comes and checks you out at night, that person is on call. Similarly, we've just inherited that term in the software industry, and the on-call responder then comes in and helps you fix that alert. Now, obviously, if you are hiring a team and if you have one person look at on-call alerts for 365 days a year, that person will leave your company because they'll be like, I want to build my career, I want to maybe work on cool, new, shiny features. So then you have a rotation policy where you say person 1 is on-call 1 week, second week person 2, third week person 3, and so on and so forth. And we'll discuss that also in the next few slides. But essentially, that is the concept of an on-call responder. So now in this system, what happens is that you ideally want your software and your hardware system to throw an error to the tool that is observing it in the first place. And once that error comes in, if the second layer, that is the monitoring tool, decides that this is worthy of being told to my development team, it then sends something as we call an event. Again, this is probably a jargon that we don't really need to get into right now, but it basically sends a small payload to the alerting tool. And now the alerting tool finally knows, oh, this event is coming in, it is impacting this particular module or this service, and this service has this particular owner team, and that team's on-call responder is, say, maybe Neha. So that's why then this alerting tool will send a notification, create an alert, and send a notification to the on-call responder. So end to end, this is the kind of best practice scenario that most software development teams do employ in their companies, just to ensure that they are proactively monitoring and proactively fixing any issues that come up. Some examples of a monitoring observability tool are Datadog, New Relic, Zabbix, Prometheus, Big Panda. Maybe some of you have even worked on some of these tools. And where we come in as Atlassian is that we help you in the alerting tool space. At the moment, we have two products called Jira Service Management, which has been in the market for about the last 15 years. And we have a new product called Compass as well that does the exact same thing. And we'll talk about these flows now. So now, before we go into the actual workflows, if you just maybe take a step back to think about what do I need to actually monitor? Because if you think of your software stack, your tech stack, you'll probably have many layers. You'll have your web page, you'll have a middleware, you'll have database, you'll probably have analytics, you'll maybe have an authentication system, you'll have some integrations with either OEMs or third-party vendors. And then you have infrastructure as well, maybe on your cloud or your bare metal servers. All of these things need to be monitored, right? And one tool in the market can't monitor all of your 10 different systems. You need to have 10 different observability tools that do very specialized jobs for each of these systems. And that system will basically integrate with one alerting tool. And that is basically the value add that we are bringing in, is that we have over 150 or close to 200 integrations at the moment with different observability and monitoring partners. This one tool can integrate with all of your observability tools and get you the results that you need. Very quickly, just to bring this home, why are monitoring and monitoring alerts important? Obviously, higher SLAs. SLA stands for service level agreement, which is that it is a promise that you are making either to your end customer or to your consumer teams within your company that this is how much my system will be up. So assume you're part of the database team, your data warehouse team. You will have a lot of different teams within your company relying on you to ensure that your database is up all the time. Because as a lot of us might know, a database is the foundation of any system. If your database goes down, a lot of things can go wrong. And maybe you have 10 teams relying on you. So they will take a promise from you that you have to keep it up 100% of the time or maybe 99.49% of the time so that they can then further go and give better service to their customers. So by proactively monitoring your alerts, you can ensure higher SLAs for yourselves and your teams. Obviously, it gives you better performance as well, because there is one more aspect of monitoring, which is that, say, for example, there's a web page. If I ping a web page, it should return a ping back to me in less than 5 milliseconds or maybe less than 10 milliseconds based on whatever metrics I'm setting for myself. If it is returning a response in 5 seconds, then you know that this is the poor performance that your customers are getting. And the moment they come onto your web page and they don't see your page loading, they will move on to some other page. So that is a drop in customer for you. And obviously, because your pages will be up all the time and your services will be up all the time, there will be better customer satisfaction. Let us now look at this from one more angle, which is the software development lifecycle. This is a very simplistic view of the software development lifecycle that most of our customers and probably most of you follow today in your companies. We start from the planning stage where you plan what you want to build, you plan your architecture, you think about all your requirements. Then you go to the build phase where you write code, you test it out, you deploy it, and then finally you enter the monitoring stage where you're just ensuring that everything that you've built is running as expected. And that last stage, or the maintain or the operate stage, is exactly where the alert and on-call capabilities come into play. Now, finally summing this up, because the world of IT, the world of IT ops has a lot of jargon, I do want to be very clear that this is actually a very, very simplistic space to be in. Observability tools are basically tools that help you observe performance and the uptime of your entire tech stack. And alerting tools basically help you answer two questions. The first question is, what is wrong? And that comes in the form of alerts. And the second question is, who should I inform about what has gone wrong? And that comes in the form of the on-call schedules and the on-call responders that we just spoke about. And that brings us to this new product that we've launched as of last year, which is called Compass. A lot of you did raise your hands initially saying that you're part of software engineering teams and development teams. Maybe you're also using internal IDPs. IDP stands for Internal Developer Platform, which is like one maybe UI or one library that you've built inside your company that hooks up with your error tools, logging tools, monitoring tools, incident tools, and so on and so forth. Do any of you use any IDPs within your companies? Very few hands, not a problem, because this is a slightly advanced space or maybe a very, very tech savvy space. What we've basically done now is that Compass is this new product that Atlassian has launched that helps you visualize your IDP environment in a very, very nice and intuitive UI. So assume you are a software engineering team, you are responsible for several modules, components, services. Maybe some of you are doing microservices as well via Docker and Kubernetes. You want some way to again proactively monitor the health of your services, just to know that out of the 100 services that I'm owning, which one is going down, which one needs a patching, which one needs an upgrade. Maybe one of them doesn't really have a monitoring tool hooked up to it. There are several different hygiene checks and proactive checks that you can do. That is where Compass comes in and helps you do that. In this example, identity service is basically one of those examples where identity is where my users can authenticate and log in with their username password. As you can see, it gives me some scorecards on what the unit test coverage is, how many users are returning to my service, what is the service readiness state, how many patches have happened, how many deployments have happened in the last quarter, right? A lot of those things can be visualized here. It also gives you important information around documentation, who is on call, and something that we like to call the activity timeline. That first box on the top, which gives you in a very nice timeline fashion how many deployments happened, what kind of issues have come up, what alerts came in, just to tell you the entire history of your service. Again, going back to the medical world, when you go for a consultation to a doctor, the first thing the doctor does is ask you for your medical history, or at least look at your medical history if they know you. Right? This is exactly what the activity timeline does. It gives a medical history of your service just to tell you how healthy your service is, or if the service is not healthy, what actions you can take to bring it up to 100% health. Now, along with this, we've also launched operations in Compass, which we'll just maybe take a quick walkthrough of right now. In Compass, you can now see your alerts that have come in. Alerts are basically things, again, to sum up, to refresh your memory, are things that have gone wrong. Maybe your database is down, your web service is not responding, and we also have a mobile app that enables you to get notifications about these alerts on your phone. We spoke about having integrations. You can create on-call schedules and basically manage alerts here. So now in the next 5 minutes, I'm just going to quickly breeze through a very nice walkthrough. Let's take an example. I am right now part of this DevOps first company, which is called Creative DevOps. I have a team. The team's name is Acme. And my team, Acme, is managing and owning a service called the Identity Service. I have maybe 100 other microservices running in my running on my platform and I am responsible for, but identity service is the hero for this particular story. And the two actors who are acting in the story are one developer who's an individual contributor developer, and the other is an engineering manager who is responsible for what their team does and also helps in stuff like guiding the work, planning resources, and also setting up their entire systems. The three stages that we will go through are configuring the tool, responding to alerts, and improving your system based on the alerts that you get in. In configuration, there are basically 2 or 3 steps that you need to do. The first is to add an integration. So we spoke about an observability tool that actually observes and watches your system. This is the stage where you can go and integrate with these tools. Again, it's a very nice and intuitive UI where you can go and set alert rules as well. Maybe every single event that your observability tool is sending is worthless. Is not worthy. 90% of them probably are worthless, because for those of you who've probably received alerts, know that a lot of alerts that you get are just noise. Like, "Arey, ye alert wapas kyun aa raha hai?" Matlab, it is not. It is just a small configuration issue, or something is just going wrong. The person who's configured it has not done a good job or has made it so sensitive that any little flap in network or any little disturbance sends an alert my way, which is not something that I want. Within these alert integrations, you can also configure which service does this alert belong to, right? Because if you're managing 100 microservices, you also want to know how, which service this is actually impacting, because you are not expected to do a trial and method error to see, acha, alert, does it match to service 1, service 2? You need to have that information at the tip of your fingers, because you are also given money or salary based on how fast you are solving your alerts. That is why we are trying to give you as much information as possible at your fingertips that enables you to solve your alerts in a fast manner. We spoke about 150 plus integrations. We will be at the booth outside in case any of you have any observability tools today in your companies. We'd be happy to show you how that works with Compass. The next step, so the first step was to set up an integration. The next step is to just go and set up your on-call schedule. Right, so as we spoke about having an on-call person in a rotational manner, this is exactly what you can do over here. So I can maybe specify a day shift, night shift, afternoon shift, however I want to do it. In this example, I have a day shift and a night shift, and I've just taken a very simplistic example to say that one person is on day shift and then that person alternates with somebody else over a week, and similarly in the night shift as well, so that one person is not overburdened with having to respond to alerts all the time. I can also define something called an escalation policy, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you know what an escalation is, right? Atlassian support doesn't respond to you. If, say, for example, then you reach out to the escalation manager. If, say, you want to reach out to somebody within your company and they don't respond to you, you reach out to their manager. Obviously, we want to eliminate that entire manual intervention here, and we have done it very programmatically. So in case an alert comes in and the on-call responder, say, doesn't respond to it, say maybe within 5 minutes, then you reach out to the next level, and again the 10 minutes you can reach out to the next level, or you just ensure that everybody gets a notification if nobody responds to it within a day. Completely configurable, and you can go from as simplistic as you want to as advanced as you want. And you can also mention how each user wants to get notified. We have 5 ways through which through which an on-call responder can get notified. They are voice call, SMSs, emails, mobile app, and Slack notifications as well. And then once an alert comes in, we reach the response stage. Now, what do you do when an alert comes in? So this is essentially the story. The person who is on call will receive these alert notifications on their mobile, wherein they can see what alert has come in. They can even take basic actions like acknowledging it, snoozing it, or maybe escalating it to the next level. And then if they feel that the alert is serious enough that they need to get into it or maybe log on to their laptop, that's when they will go and log in on their laptop and start looking at the alert. There have been so many instances where I'm outside for dinner and drinks with some of my friends, and at that time, my friends have been on call. So anytime an alert comes in, they would first check it on their phone, And only if, say, maybe that alert required more intervention, they would then find a small corner in the restaurant to open their laptop and start troubleshooting these alerts. One thing that we're also doing with Compass is because Compass has something that we call as the service catalog, which catalogs all your services very well. We're also bringing in the power of your service awareness here. So in this case, this person knows exactly which service is getting impacted, which is the identity service. And then they can even go and explore. So the activity timeline, that medical history that we spoke about, they can open the medical history for that service to see, oh, these were the deployments or these are the changes that got made on the service in the last 1 week. Maybe that is the reason why this alert is coming in. Or maybe there was an incident that occurred and is still open in my service because of which this alert is coming in. And then finally, a responder can then be sure that, okay, this alert has come in, I have investigated it, I know what the resolution is. Maybe it was just restarting the service, I have done that, and now I can close the alert. As I said, we also have the ability for customers to get notifications on a Slack channel, because obviously, who is going to keep a web page open all the time? A lot of you might be on Slack, might be on MS Teams, where you are discussing stuff with your colleagues day in and day out. We have also now started sending notifications to that place where you're spending most time in the day. And finally, after all of these things, you also want to ensure that you're improving your system, right? Because if you get 100 alerts one day, you don't want the same 100 alerts to come the next day. You want to improve your system in such a way that none of those alerts come again, that every single alert that comes in is a new alert, that you identify and fix the problems at their root cause. For that, you can also refer to the reporting feature that we have in Compass, where you can very nicely see how many alerts have come in, how many were priority 1, how many were priority 2, which services they impacted, who solved them, how did they solve them. All of those nice insights you can get from our reports. Now, one very good thing that we're also doing is that we basically have alerts and on-call capabilities, or as we call them, operations, in 2 products of Compass and JSM. A lot of you in the past have complained that your products don't really speak well to each other. If I'm in Jira, it doesn't speak well to Jira Service Management. It probably doesn't speak well to Jira Work Management. I need to get different licenses for different products, and it gets a bit messy for me to manage on the back end. So essentially what we've done here is that we have platformized the entire alert and on-call capabilities so that they are offered natively within both Compass and JSM. If you're in Compass, you don't need to have a JSM license to access alerts and on-call. If you are in JSM, you don't need a Compass license as well. Also, because Compass is probably more geared towards your developer persona and your software engineering teams, and JSM or Jira Service Management, as we will learn today, is more geared towards your ITSM teams, your tech ops teams, your system administrators, your site reliability engineers, all of those teams. You still want these 2 teams to speak very, very well with each other and collaborate very well with each other. And that is exactly what this operations platform enables, because you see the exact same alert, the exact same on-call schedules within both products. Now, just taking this example one step further. In the previous example, we discussed that a responder got an alert. They were probably sitting in a restaurant with some friends. They got an alert. They were able to triage it and investigate and close the alert very nicely from within the restaurant itself. So no harm, no foul. The system is still running very well. However, now let's assume another scenario, that the alert has gotten so big that it has started impacting maybe 10,000 customers. And now you potentially have like $1 million revenue at stake because it has impacted, and that issue has spread across a very, very large blast radius. That is exactly where we introduce one more concept, which we and the entire industry known as incidents. What is an incident? It is basically yet another type of ticket to try and tell you that something is wrong, but it tells you that with more visibility and more urgency, which means that if you create an incident, it is treated with much more importance within a company. You can now loop in several other people to say, Maybe this is impacting database, impacting network, maybe impacting infrastructure. A lot of other teams can now step in to help and try you resolve the incident. In terms of frequency, you can potentially get like 100 alerts or even 1,000 alerts a day. As I said, maybe most of them are not really worth your attention. But the thing about incidents is that every single incident is worth your attention and maybe should be your topmost priority. That is exactly where that difference lies between these two concepts. And the way we create incidents within Atlassian or get our customers to create incidents is that we house incidents in this other tool called Jira Service Management. It's a very, very easy one-click step from which you can create incidents. So there is a button on the top. If you click on that, you can create an incident and you can enter your details here to just ensure that everything is captured properly. And now the incident and the alert also get linked to each other. So basically, you're not losing context because obviously sometimes a lot of times it happens that you have 10 tickets for one issue, but you don't know which ticket is the source of truth. What we are doing here is that we're basically linking together all these pieces of information to ensure that the person who is looking at the incident or that incident responder has every single information within their grasp. And that basically takes us, once you've solved the incident, you will then get into, okay, now we've solved the incident, maybe 2 more incidents have come up, which will then bring us to one more concept called problem management, which the next set of speakers will also go through. But that now very nicely comes back into the software development lifecycle that you've identified a problem, you fixed it, you've identified action items, and now you bring it back into the planning stage to say, team 1 do this, team 2 do this, and that will go into their Jira software backlog, which is essentially the story of alerts, incidents, and PIRs. Thank you so much. I do want to end just with one thing. A lot of things we spoke about here are manual actions where, as you could see, you have to click on buttons and then you have to enter information yourself very manually. The next set of speakers will be speaking about how we can do this in an automated manner, leveraging the power of AI. And so I would request you to keep this context in mind when you listen to that session. This brings me to an end of my talk. Here is the QR code for my LinkedIn profile. I would love to connect with any of you in case you have any questions. I'll also be around at the booth the entire day today. And if you have any requirement for seeing demos or seeing how JSM and Compass work in live action, I would love to do that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. That was Mr. Aditya Mani, Senior Product Manager at Atlassian. And it was lovely, sir. Trust me, even I got a beautiful insight into what I can work forward to. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.